Case and point proven right now. Do you understand?
No, it's
Well,
not.
you've been making
Yes,
me play
it
shit.
is!
Of course I'm gonna
How
play.
do you not see the problem right now?
Wait, first of all, it's
That ass Kingsman, like, shut the fuck up.
The Marvel Rivals $40,000 tournament situation is the kind of video game drama you'd normally see in tabloids about dream speedrunning or some insane Twitch personality meltdown. Except here, the star isn't some mainstream content giant. It's a college student named Kingsman who just wanted to play serious, win some money, and not have his life ripped apart by people apparently allergic to accountability. The issue at hand was that Kingsman was teamed up with people who very clearly did not care, or at least didn't care in the same way. Cece, the team captain who somehow thought she could run a tournament, manage a team, and dodge literally every ounce of responsibility. She wasn't just inflexible, she was actively hostile. Her teammates made requests, but she ignored them. When suggestions came her way, she met them with mockery and passive aggression.
He dies. Okay, guys. Case and point proven right now. Do you understand?
No, it's
Well,
not.
you've been making
Yes,
me play
it
shit.
is!
Of course I'm gonna play.
How do you not see the problem right now?
Wait, first of all, it's
That ass Kingsman, like, shut the fuck up.
Okay,
First of
bro.
all,
You're doing too much.
Lucy's not even on Invis. Second of all, you're getting value because
No. She shouldn't be dead.
Yes.
I'm
You're
getting
only
value
able to
because I'm
rebuild them because
1v6ing.
Hulk isn't peeling for you, bro. Yes, Zaza is 0-5, but we won the point, bro. Why? Because they were hard. Like 4 people are dying here. That means 4 of their util, 4 of their resources are all spent on Zaza.
So you just wave those jacket
And the
hands of
supports.
yours around
And we win because they don't care about anything else. Like
That's not why it's
Well,
happening.
Lucy's letting strap pull and going on Invis, and then they kind of split.
Another one of Kingsman's teammates, Zaza, was a diamond-ranked Black Widow one-trick, meaning she played exactly one character and apparently would rather lose publicly on stream than switch off her comfort pick. Kingsman kept asking her to swap characters so the team could actually function, especially because real money was on the line here. She flat out refused with no compromise, no discussion, just vibes over victory. At one point, another teammate literally told Kingsman to shut up, so the team loses. Shocker. And instead of everyone shrugging it off like adults, things immediately went nuclear. Kingsman got kicked from the tournament, not for cheating or harassment, not for slurs or threats, but for quote-unquote disrespectful behavior, which when you actually watch the footage amounts to please switch characters so we don't throw. Apparently that's now grounds for exile.
If Basim really came to you, why don't you tell me something about it? Because every time I make a suggestion, your only response to me is to tell me to shut the fuck up. Then of course we're not going to have a positive team experience. And all of a sudden, 20 minutes later, I'm kicked from the tournament, no warning, nothing.
Kingsman made a video explaining his side, with receipts and comms showing exactly how he was treated. It was just a guy trying to win. That should have been the end of it, but oh no, we're just getting started.
What happened with Kingsman getting kicked?
It was so like Boston pulled me aside and it was just like, a lot of people were coming to him, like chatters and stuff, were showing him clips of him like saying disrespectful things about the tournament, like us as a team, and like saying we were gonna lose and all that stuff, and like Boston was just not having it, and so he asked me, and I was just like, it's kind of just like, if you think so. But apparently he was like muting in like while we were in Discord and saying like, oh yeah, we're gonna lose, and these guys, my team sucks, and then he was talking about like how some other tournament he's in was like way better, and I think Basim was just not taking that disrespect, and low-key like I didn't want that disrespect either. Like I didn't want someone on the team that was just constantly gonna like shit talk us to his chat, so I was just like, yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
But
it was like mad disrespectful.
yeah,
Cece decided to respond, and that was the first bad move, because instead of owning anything, she did the classic content creator apology tour. Half apology, half deflection, zero accountability. Then she took it to Reddit, which is always a terrible idea if you're trying to control a narrative. Reddit users, fueled by spite and caffeine, immediately started doing detective work, and that's when the Google Doc bomb dropped.
740?
My team was TikTok. Less than 1,000 followers here. How did I get him kicked? It's because Basim was already out to get Kingsman. And his production team asked me to get the clips. I can show you the DM where they asked me to clip on Anonymous and send them to him.
And that's the clip. Holy shit, it was an inside job! Hello? How does it keep getting deeper? He said lies, he never spoke to me? It's crazy that, listen, I'm gonna be real with you, it's crazy everyone's trying to throw everyone under.
Turns out, Zaza's boyfriend Kaplunk allegedly compiled a full Google Doc of clipped moments of Kingsman and sent it to the tournament organizer. The apparent goal was to get Kingsman kicked. Just a little behind the scenes sabotage, light white knighting, nothing crazy, totally normal behavior. Kingsman then dropped his own mega document. Screenshots, messages, timelines, the works, including evidence suggesting someone encouraged Kaplunk to make the document. That someone was censored, but Kingsman strongly implied it was Cece. He admitted it was speculation, but the implication was loud. Now here's where Cece's earlier statements aged like milk, because she had previously insisted she had nothing to do with Kingsman being kicked. Suddenly that claim looked shaky. Cece then leaked DMs between her and Kingsman, which again, terrible move, because the messages didn't make her look any better. They were basically her blaming him for harassment she was receiving, accusing him of throwing her under the bus, and calling him a narcissist. The irony here was incredible, because while calling him a narcissist, she was also refusing to take responsibility for anything and blaming everyone else, which is textbook projection. At this point, the internet was not on her side, and it got worse. Cece then claimed that DMs between her and Kaplunk didn't exist, and that she had zero messages with them, which is a bold claim to make when screenshots exist. Twitter immediately slapped her with a community note basically saying, yeah, no. People also started pulling old clips and tweets showing Cece trash talking Kingsman long after the situation was supposedly resolved. So much for wanting peace. Then came the panic attack excuse. Cece said she was having a panic attack, and that's why she said some hateful things. Which, listen, panic attacks are real and awful, but they do not magically turn you into a bully with a Twitter account. Anxiety does not force you to type essays calling someone a narcissist. The internet was not buying it. And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, a clip surfaced where Cece jokingly said this drama was her chance to drama farm and make money off the situation. Now, to be fair, this might have been a troll, but saying that out loud while you're already under fire is like pouring gasoline on yourself and asking for a match. Sponsors started backing away. Companies like Solaris publicly distanced themselves, saying her behavior didn't align with their values. That's when you know you've messed up, when brands start tweeting polite corporate disappointment at you. Now, let's talk about Zaza, because this is where the contrast gets crazy. Zaza released a massive statement, way too long, but here's the thing, she actually took some accountability. She admitted the situation was blown out of proportion. She acknowledged that maybe she should have swapped characters. She clarified that the prize pool wasn't announced when she joined and that she didn't realize how serious it was for Kingsman. She explained that she genuinely thought that staying on Widow was the best option given her skill set. She admitted that, in hindsight, switching to Phoenix or a healer would have been smarter. She also directly apologized to Kingsman if he was hurt. Night and day difference. She also denied knowing about the Google Doc. According to her, Kaplunk did it entirely on his own, behind her back, despite her explicitly telling him not to, which kind of contradicts herself, because how could she tell him not to do it if she wasn't aware of it? But that's for you guys to discuss on your own. Zaza's response wasn't perfect. Some of it sounded like cope, but compared to Cece, she looked like a functioning adult, which is a low bar, but still. Then there was Lucy. Lucy chose violence.
To why I did what I did and why I said what I said. I did do it at wrong times, I do admit, but in regards to me telling him to shut the fuck up, that is the only thing I think I am 100% justified in, because Zaza said, you're making me feel like shit. When somebody on your team is like saying that, I'm immediately just put off. And yeah, I don't know. That's the only time I'm only gonna like defend that specific moment.
She straight up said she wasn't sorry for telling Kingsman to shut up, claimed she was justified, doubled down, even on stream. Her apology was basically, sorry you got kicked but I did nothing wrong. Incredible stuff. She also called the tournament organizer, Basim, a loser on stream, which to be fair, he did fumble this whole event spectacularly. But maybe don't publicly nuke the one guy who could confirm your story. Eventually, Basim released another statement, this time admitting he messed up. He said kicking Kingsman was a decision made out of haste and misinformation. He also heavily implied that the team knew more than they were letting on, which pretty much confirmed what everyone suspected. So after all that, where did everyone end up? CC lost sponsors and credibility, Lucy became known as that one teammate, Kaplunk vanished into private account purgatory, and Zaza took a hit but came out relatively intact. And Kingsman won. Maybe not the tournament, but the internet. His Twitch channel exploded. Subs flooded in, donations poured. He went from getting kicked out of a tournament to nearly 10,000 active subscribers. The irony is insane. The guy who got booted for disrespect ended up with the most successful outcome of anyone involved. Meanwhile, the actual winner of the tournament came out and basically said no one cared, which is brutal but true. This entire event became known as that Kingsman drama, not that Marvel Rivals tournament. And honestly, that's the funniest part. A tournament designed for a hype got completely overshadowed by interpersonal chaos, bad decisions, and ego.
So toxic. So rude. What a nasty bitch. Yep, 0 and 5. Yep, there it is. Oh, is that Black Widow? I guess that's a scan. I'm not really familiar with it. Yeah, I guess it is. So 0 and 5. Wow. And then she's telling this guy who's 18 and 2 to shut the fuck up.
On Invis, second of all,
that's sad.
No. She
not even one assist.
I'm getting value because I'm 1v6ing.
Isn't peeling for you, bro.
Even Asmongold called them straight up toxic and rude. He didn't hold back, basically said they were nasty people and wasn't shy about pointing it out. Looking at Zaza's gameplay, he noticed she was 0-5 in a match, clearly struggling, and yet she had the audacity to tell Kingsman, an 18-year-old who was 2-0 at the time, to shut up. He even tried to make sense of her character choice, realizing she was playing Black Widow, but didn't seem familiar with it himself. Still, the point was clear. She was underperforming while acting like she had authority over someone who was actually doing well.
You can look at any of their VODs, look at the way they communicate with one another, like, and what they say, like, to their own chats of other people, like, a lot of these people, like, are awful. I mean, they act like they're sometimes the victim, like they're, oh, I'm nice, I'm gonna use the nice voice, that means I'm nice, and it's in the most diabolical shit. But you play a game of Valorant, League, or whatever, these guys will act like they're chill, and they'll use KYS every fucking other sentence. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Go
I'm just saying, it's difficult.
I think she was hoping it would.
XQC also decided to speak out on the situation and basically called these players out for how messy they are. He said if you actually watch their VODs or streams, you can see how they communicate with each other and with their own chat. It's bad. They act all calm and nice, using soft voices like that somehow makes them good people, but in reality they're chaotic and toxic. Play a game with them, and they're dropping swear words every other sentence, arguing constantly, and generally making everything harder than it needs to be. He also pointed out that they often pretend to be the victim. They'll act like they're being reasonable or friendly, but it's mostly an act. XQC didn't care if he got some details wrong. His point was that a lot of these content creators aren't actually as chill as they make themselves out to be.
Not to harass anyone that's been involved in it. You know, Zaza, her boyfriend, Cece, anyone. He's been trying to, like, actively calm things down to the best of his ability, but this clearly blew up well beyond anyone's wildest expectations. And Kingsman actually was able to make over $3,000, which would have been his cut of the prize money should they have won the tournament, through subs and donations the last time he streamed, which I believe was last night. So a bit of a happy ending for Kingsman.
Penguin Zero also pointed out that Kingsman was really just trying to keep things under control. He was doing his best to calm everyone down and handle the situation without making it worse, but obviously it completely blew up way beyond what anyone expected. The drama spiraled in a way that no one could have predicted, turning a simple tournament dispute into a massive internet event. A Twitter user basically called out how ridiculous the whole situation was. They pointed out that people were actually getting kicked from a team just because someone's feelings got hurt, which, yeah, that's not how competitive gaming usually works. Another person on Twitter called it a blessing in disguise for Kingsman. They pointed out that despite all the drama and getting kicked, his name is now way more recognizable. Before, he was just another skilled player trying to grind in a tournament, but after everything blew up online, so many people know who he is now. Someone else pointed out that Kingsman got completely shafted and deserved way better. They emphasized that it wasn't just about the tournament or the prize money, it was about how unfairly he was treated by his own team. Instead of being supported or listened to, he got kicked for literally just trying to play smart and win.